The Bradbury Trio, it's a reading challenge. It's one that I came to affectionately call the Bradbury Trio many years ago because I stumbled across a lecture by the great Ray Bradbury where he gave some advice to writers. He also gave the same advice in Zen and the Art of Writing. And his advice was there are a few things you can do, hygienically speaking, for writers in order to be more creative, have more ideas, and basically improve your writing, because a lot of improving your writing comes down to just reading more variety and challenging stuff and dipping in and out of different genres. Like Stephen King says, if you don't have the time to read, you don't have the time to write. Anyway, so his reading advice, Ray Bradbury's reading advice, was for the next 1,000 nights, you're going to read one poem, one short story, and one essay.
But one poem a night, one short story a night, one essay a night for the next 1,000 nights.
And what you're doing when you do that is you're stuffing your head with ideas, and you're doing it right before bed, and you're letting them all collide together. You're letting them percolate in your mind and letting your unconscious tangle them up together and untangle them and all that. So, and I've done this for about 1,000 nights, and I realized that the period of time in which I was writing the most consistently, most creatively, most joyfully, because that's another thing as well, because writing shouldn't feel like work, it should feel like you're playing, was during the time I was doing the old Bradbury Trio. And then I stopped the practice, and very often we don't realise that we do practices, whether we call them practices or not, or we ditch habits that were actually scaffolding other very important routines and activities. And I realised that my writing kind of fell apart. Now, thanks to the quarantine and lockdown and all that business, the coronavirus situation, I've had a little bit more time to read, and I've noticed, having started the Bradbury Trio again, that I'm just impulsively putting pen to paper and really enjoying it. Anyway, so it's a quick video. You probably, if you've got an hour to spare, watch the whole lecture. I've put a link in the description below with Ray Bradbury. It's amazing. Or check out his book. But yeah, get started. Read tonight. Maybe read a short story. That'll take you 10-15 minutes. Read a poem. Read an essay. If you want some recommendations, then please go to benjaminmcavoy.com, and I'm always giving recommendations. But just off the cuff here, I would recommend, these are the ones I've read this week, D.H. Lawrence's The Rocking Horse Winner. Now, I didn't really like D.H. Lawrence. I was like, oh, he's, crusty and fusty. I just don't like him. I thought it was boring. Rocking Horse Winner, great short story. I actually changed my mind. I'll read more of him. Another one, this is my top recommendation, Dennis Johnson's Emergency. Read this and tell me it's not hilarious, or am I just sick? It's the weirdest. I just don't know why it's funny. So I'm gonna read it again, and I'm gonna pick it apart and try and examine why it is I laughed 10 times over the course of a story, a very short story. Emergency, Dennis Johnson, wonderful book, wonderful short story. If you want a very short one, and this is one that plays around with this idea of voice and persona and character and stuff like that, then check out Jamaica Kincaid's Girl. That's a short one that does some interesting stylistic things. Poems, there's a great anthology called Poem a Day, which is just perfect. I'll link that in the description below. But if you want an actual volume of poetry, then you can't go wrong with Sylvia Plath's Ariel. That's a good collection. Or her husband Ted Hughes, his collection, I think it's called Crow. That's really good. As for essays, there is a collection or a series of essays called Great American Essays, but and some of them are compiled by great writers like Jonathan Franzen. I don't really like those ones though. I prefer the essays just the same way with poetry. I prefer the stuff that's a bit older, because the modern stuff can be a bit overly politicized. But anyway, you could go to the Pulitzer website and read some of the essays selected there, some of the ones that were shortlisted, or some of the ones that ended up winning the Pulitzer, so you've got some good journalism there. You could just get The Art of the Essay, which is a great book compiled by Philip Lofay, I can't remember his name, I'm sorry, but I'll link that below. That's got good selections from Seneca, Plutarch, Montaigne. They've got some of the great essays. Or you could just start reading more literary magazines. Now, I've recently gone through probably 10, 20 different publications, and I found that most of them are just complete garbage. I don't have any respect for the New Yorker. I don't have much respect for anything really, but there are a few good ones. The Spectator, British magazine, just had its 10,000th issue, which makes it like the only literary publication to have 10,000 issues. That's really good. What I like about that is you've got people on both sides of the political fence, and they just in the same mag, and there's no hatred or animosity. But not only that, it's not too politicised. Anyway, great writers in there. You've got Matt Ridley for science. You've got Ian McEwan. You've got loads more that slip my memory. Spectator's great. So if you want a good essay or a good short story, get the Spectator. You could also get the Paris Review, but that's a bit pompous, a bit pretentious. But there's some good writers in there. Joe Dunthorne often makes an appearance, and the interviews are brilliant. I recently read their interview with who's the couple that translated Anna Karenina? It's like Pavirsky? I can't remember. I'm terrible with names, but it's a very old couple. They've been together like 33 years, and they've translated 30 plus Russian works. They did a really fascinating interview. Paris Review's worth subscribing to for the interviews alone, probably. You could also get Harper's. Again, I think that's leaning a bit too liberally in a bad way, but there is some good stuff there, so I'm going to give it another chance. And National Geographic is decent as well. So that's what, from now on, every night before bed, one poem, one essay, one short story, and tell me if in a couple of weeks you aren't writing, or if you're not a writer, if you're a filmmaker, if you're not creating films, or if you're a musician, you're not making songs, whatever, it's going to inspire you. It's going to make you more creative. Check it out. Let me know. Bradbury Trio.